To the bottom left, we have the MVP Terran player. This is the commander. It is
MVP Keen.
MVP Keen, a strong Terran player to face, someone who was a little bit upset that he wasn't able to go to the Premier League right away. He lost to True in the third round of the Challenger League, and here we have his opponent starting to the bottom right of Newkirk, our first map of the day. It is actually
Jin Air Green Wings Pig Baby.
I still haven't been able to ask him about that whole piglet thing, because I really feel like that's the proper word here.
Yeah, the funny thing is that Pig Baby actually lost to a Terran player in the second round of the Challenger League in the last season. And of course, Keen kind of knows the style of his opponent, which is one of the reasons why he scouts here immediately. Oh no, actually he doesn't. He's proxying. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna play the proxy game against you. You are very well known for your Illins, but I am gonna be first.
Yeah, this is kind of funny. This is also going to give him some really good scouting information of exactly what Pig Baby is opening with. And there's no way Pig Baby's going to scout that barracks. It's just not a place you normally scout in this matchup, unless you're trying to play super safe. Notice that if you look on screen, you can see that just in this studio alone, Pig Baby has not played a lot of matches. Keen has a lot more experience in this studio, and of course in the studio in Mokdong as well.
Yeah. The SCV is going to scout that there's no barracks just yet, and we'll find out about the gas. At this point, Pig Baby should know what's up. And this is actually a build that we've seen a couple of times on Newkirk, where a Terran player just tries to proxy his barracks and goes for the Reapers. And at this point, Pig Baby is not going for a Zealot just yet. So we are going to find out if he... there we go. The Zealot in the beginning is not going to help him a whole lot. So Zealots alone, not really all that useful against Reapers. You need to get those Stalkers out as fast as possible, or at least the Mothership could deal with these things. But now we have Keen in his opponent's main base, having a bit of a scout here. And Pig Baby, with a probe, as mentioned, should know now what's going on.
Yeah, he needs to get the Mothership core out as soon as possible. As that's going to be the best deterrent to the Reaper. Yeah, a Stalker is going to be good too, but that Mothership core is the real firepower that you really need, and it also can't be attacked by the Reaper. There it is on its way out. And Keen, of course, has to start a barracks back at home. He's just being very aggressive here, but needs to also be safe. And let's see how many kills this Reaper can get. He should be able to get 1 or 2 at the very least, depending on Pig Baby's micro. And look at that. Really nice micro. Pulls the probe away. Does not lose it.
Very well done so far. It's just very annoying what Keen is doing here to him, but of course the Terran player gives up a little bit of economy in order to achieve this. He's going into the additional Reapers now, and we're going to find out if he might be able to sneak in a little bit later. The problem for him really being that we have the Stalker already on the production tab, and with the 2 Reapers, he shouldn't be able to do too much here. He also doesn't have any Marines back at home. That's why he's getting the second barracks now. So the Mothership core alone should also be able to harass him quite a bit.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But he has to deal with these Reapers still. The first Stalker pops out here, and he's microing against the Zealot. He's actually microing 2 Reapers at once. Really impressive here by Keen. I don't even know how he's doing that, but he's keeping them alive. He just has not done very much damage directly. He finally kills 1 probe here, and that's the second one he gets this game.
2 Harvesters so far, but not a lot of Marines back at home. The SCV sees the Nexus, but here comes that Mothership core that we've been talking about, and with only 1 Marine, he shouldn't be able to do too much here. So the Mothership core can do a lot of damage, and that is really annoying for Keen now. That Mothership core can screw a lot of things up now for the Terran player.
Exactly, the Mothership core here going to kill that Marine easily. Has enough energy for a Time Warp as well if he ever needs to use that. So both players actually harassing each other. It's almost like Banshee versus Banshee in TVT or something. They both have the micro at home as well as on the attack. And I'm really starting to get concerned about Keen here because his Reapers are becoming less and less valuable, whereas the Mothership core is actually just continuing to do direct damage here in his main base. Even if he repairs the SCVs, he's losing mining time, and it's costing him money to keep these SCVs alive.
Yeah, exactly. He loses a lot here already, and that's very, very annoying for Keen. So the build, or the idea of the build, was really just to pressure Pig Baby, but the Protoss player, he turns things around, and with the help of the Mothership core, is now able to pressure Keen quite a bit, and that's really frustrating for Keen. You can really see that he's dropping in supply, he's already falling behind, he gets his own expansion up as well, of course, but that's just not a whole lot that Keen can do.
Yeah, to be honest, once the Stalkers and the Zealots actually arrive at Keen's base, he may die. I mean, he doesn't have a bunker, he doesn't have any Marines.
Oh wow, that Marine actually went down against the Mothership core. This is starting to get really dangerous for Keen, and I'm not quite, as you said, once the Stalkers arrive, I'm not quite sure if he can hold.
I think he's actually just going to die, unfortunately, for Keen here. This would never be possible on any other map. It's only on Newkirk that you can get that Mothership core across so fast. And he can even Time Warp here to save his Stalkers. That's exactly what he does. He's just going to continue to kill the SCVs. The bunker finishes, but there's nothing to put inside. What's he going to do? Hide his SCVs in there.
That's the only thing that he can do. I mean, the Widowmine is now in the game, but he should try to dodge that. Whoa, the Mothership Core taking a hit here, but that's actually one of the best things that could have happened to him, to be quite frank. There goes the Mothership Core and Stalker. One of them goes down as well, or at least I thought so. Finally targeted. But he did so much damage already, and if you just look at the bare supply that we have for those two guys, that's 23 against 39. 11 Harvesters killed by Pig Baby. The Jin Air Green Wings Protoss is really doing a number here on the Terran player.
Exactly, and you know, part of the reason why that Widowmine hit was so bad was that he hit so many of his own SCVs while he was doing that, the Mothership Core right above them, so he did a lot of extra splash damage to his own units. This, of course, helps Big Baby out even more, and I think that Keen may just be a dead man walking right now because he doesn't have much counter pressure he can do. The robotics is already up, he's already getting an Observer, the Widowmines aren't going to be useful anymore. You know, it's all about the rush distance, and Pig Baby was confident enough to send his Mothership Core rather than using it to defend. And if you can do that, if you have good enough micro with your probes, which you saw excellent micro from Pig Baby, then you can do this.
Yeah. And Pig Baby is now so far ahead in this game. I mean, he has his own expansion already, of course, at the low ground. I mean, there's no other choice as a Protoss. And he's mining from 2 mineral lines. He's getting his own forges up. He has the better harvester count. The worker supply, as you can see, is currently nearly doubled by Pig Baby. Of course, the mules also come into play, but when you saturate 2 mineral lines, you feel pretty confident against the Terran player who's only mining from 1 base. That's something that Keen wants to change. But you can even see that with the tech that we have coming up for the Protoss, he's in a magnificent position to take this game.
Yeah.
So, hasn't won it just yet, but if he doesn't make any major mistakes here, he should be able to clench out a victory after this lead in the game.
Yeah, you know, the Observer, he gets killed here, but it's like, at this point, Pig Baby's like, well, that's great, that was another scan you used. Too bad your economy is so terrible, that's one less mule, and so, therefore, my lead is even further because I can just make another Observer, which I already am. He can start Colossi soon, which will shut down any pressure play from Keen. The one thing Keen might be able to do is try to do some drops, try to get some damage, try to equalize an economy. But with Colossi coming out, not going to be easy.
Yeah, and now we have the Medivac heading into the main base. You know, I feel this Medivac is like the only thing that could change things for him. If Pig Baby for some reason is surprised here, maybe.
Yeah.
But, well, we have already the Stalkers in position, and that Medivac is just fodder. As you already pointed out earlier, it's in the wrong spot. Well, the Widowmine is taking a few hits, takes down one of the Stalkers, but how much does that help him in the long run? He loses the Medivac, he loses the Widowmine, he loses all of the Marines, and Keen is just falling farther and farther behind in the game.
Yeah, you know, some players might have even GG'd at this point, but Keen is just trying to hope for his opponent to make some mistakes. He's trying to hope that he can get some edges here in this game. With all the gateways Pig Baby is adding, and with his Twilight Council coming through here, he could have tried to hit a timing, but I think he's just going to play for the late game. He doesn't want to risk it, which is very un-Pig Baby-like, but when you're this ahead, I guess you just go for the win as safely as you can.
You know, if at the early game you just look at the statistics of the two players, you would have said that Keen is one of the huge favorites, not only in the group, but especially in this particular matchup. The guy has a 70% win ratio against Protoss with 18 maps played, whereas Pig Baby himself is at 43 with only 7 maps played. So that's a huge lead here for the Terran player right there. Him now is turning things around and trying to be this aggressive. Yeah, oh my god, that Widowmine hit was a lot better than I thought. That was really awesome.
Yeah, and you know, he actually trades decently against the Stalkers here, but it's just not, it's not going to be enough at the end of the day, and that's the problem here.
Well, it shouldn't be. Like, if he gets a good engagement, then maybe, but the problem really being right now, even though Keen is the better Terran versus Protoss player in general, Pig Baby is currently doing a number on him. And that's quite fascinating, since this is the worst, or one of the worst matchups that Pig Baby actually has, but his response to the early Proxy Reaper was perfect.
Yeah. And it begs the question, did Keen really need to do a build like this against Pig Baby? He could have just, you know, mostly would argue play a straight-up game and take him out just with his good macro, his multitasking when he's playing on even footing, but in this case, he took a big risk and Pig Baby punished him.
To be quite frank with you, I don't think that Keen had to go for something like this. With a very solid performance and a normal play, he should have been able to take Pig Baby out here. But he started to gamble a little bit, and he's now trying to do enough damage with those drops that he uses here. But once again, the Widowmine taking out a couple of hits, a couple of kills, but in the end, probably not enough to turn things around. Especially since we now even have Storm on the production tab. We have the first attack upgrade nearly completed, a third base coming up. Pig Baby is taking no chances.
I mean,
here.
look at that army. That army's not making it happen. It's a 55 versus 29. Keen's army looks like a group of like preschoolers about to go and try to fight a grown man. It's just not going. It's not going to work. It looks really puny and not scary at all.
Well, you don't know how many preschoolers there are.
Yeah, that's true. I'm talking like 3, okay? It's not going to be
Well,
enough.
actually, with 3, like, one goes for the legs, the other 2 just tumble him over, one behind him, you know, and then...
The biggest strength the preschoolers has, the man probably doesn't want to hurt them.
That's one of the things, and the other one, they have the numbers, but that's something that Keen actually doesn't have.
Yeah, Keenan, he really doesn't have the numbers. That wasn't even the best analogy I've ever had. But
Well,
his army just does not look scary. It looks like, okay, let's say it looks like a 5-year-old in a Halloween costume. It's like, sorry, you're not that scary, okay? I know the idea is there, but...
Well, that run by with the Marines at the top right could actually do some damage if it isn't scouted, but Pig Baby isn't moving out as we originally thought. So maybe with a little bit of, with a few guerrilla tactics, he might be able to make something happen here.
He's even the supply a lot, you know, if you look.
I mean, the tech is the problem for him. He doesn't even have a Ghost Academy. He's up against Storm. We have still the scouting going on at the top right, but nothing spotted so far. And Keen is trying to make this work. Keep in mind that, by all means, Keen in general is the superior player in this matchup. But this is a best of 1, and Pig Baby, with the responses that he made so far, has been playing a nice game. Nearly a snipe on the Colossus. The Time Warp saving him.
Well, at least for now, he should turn around and fight. He's going to lose it. He should at least try to get a shot off or 2.
So the Colossus go down. Oh wow, he actually gets out everything with the medivac.
Accept that feedback.
That didn't work out for him all too well. But I really like what he did there. So, I mean, it was the best thing that he could do. Move in, take down the Colossus, and try to just, afterburn away. But that one High Templar, he definitely didn't account for this one.
Yeah, definitely not. 30 supply up now with superior upgrades. The +1 armor is on its way for Keen, whereas +2 is almost done for Pig Baby. And, you know, right now I'm wondering when Pig Baby is going to kill him. Because Keen still doesn't even have a 3rd base. He's getting a Ghost Academy. He's trying to play this, like, I don't know, like hack plays sometimes where he just maxes out on 2 bases somehow and goes for a big push. He could pull his SCVs and try to go for attack. He has a decent amount of Vikings. He's not going to have very many SCVs left, though, because he's not at home here.
Yeah, exactly. He has to come back, and especially the Vikings need to shut down that War Prism. That's exactly what they're going for right now.
Oh, there's a Templar on that War Prism counter. He gets Storm.
And I think he will. He goes in, and there comes the Storm. Immediately the pull. No SCV. Well, one SCV actually dies. The War Prism is gone. But still, we have such a massive lead now for Pig Baby, who's going up into a 4th base. We have 3 base economy already for the Protoss player. Getting a 4th Nexus at this time, building more and more cannons to be safe against drops and run-bys. He's even heading into the 3rd armor upgrade for his Zealots, for his Gateway units. And things are looking horrible for Keen, even though the army supply is evening out, but the tech is just amazing for the Protoss player.
Pig Baby is having a hard time killing that factory. He doesn't have a lot of anti-air, which actually is pretty relevant considering that those Vikings are going to be uncontested. Here's that SCV pull I was talking about. He's got 1-1 now. And he's down in upgrades, but the Storm is the issue here.
Usually you do this when you are aware that there is no Storm just yet, when the Protoss player is on the way. The Templars, they are trailing behind a little bit on the other hand, and the Colossi are already gone. Now it's time for the Storms to shine, but he needs to get those High Templars here. He only storms his own Zealots, nothing else. Oh my god, Pig Baby still in the lead, and the 2nd Storm is good, but he needs to be careful here.
He needs to be careful here. He's throwing his Zealots away, and Keen has a really nice army. Consider that if you look at the supply, the army size is still better for Keen. Pig Baby needs about 1 more warp before he can do this. He hallucinates a Colossus. That's not going to buy him any time. He needs to get another round of warp ends. He needs to chrono boost his gateways.
Force fields would have been much better here to delay the opponent. A great Storm goes off.
That's the one he needs.
That's exactly what he needs there, and there's the GG. As Pig Baby